Josiah Trissler, and I want to tell you why and how you change your oil on a vehicle. Why should you change your oil? The main reason you should change your oil is because if you don't, it could cause long-lasting damage to your engine. Mainly the cylinders, which this piston goes up and down in, and your bearings, which are right here. It could mess them up pretty bad. How does this happen? Contaminated oil contains particles of dirt and sometimes metal pieces that scrape the sides of the cylinder wall when this goes up and down, and gets in the bearings and wears them out. Stated by Lube Mobile 5 in 5 Reasons to Change Your Oil Regularly, June 9th, 2010. This leads to burning more oil and eventually an engine knock, in which case you need to either have your engine rebuilt or put a new engine in it. Both options are very expensive and preventable with regular oil changes and general maintenance. What are the best products to use? The type of products you use depends on a number of things. What vehicle you have, how expensive it is, how old the vehicle is, the mileage on the vehicle, your budget. If you have an old vehicle with high mileage, you may just want to buy a cheap oil filter and oil, because the vehicle's not going to last very long anyway. So there's no point to spending a lot of money on the vehicle. But if you have a newer, nice vehicle that could be more expensive and it has low miles, you may want to get more high quality oil and filter, thus also more expensive, and oil being synthetic, which costs more than conventional oil because it's better. Personally, I like to use Mobil 1 oil, and in an article wrote by Auto Wranglers, who wrote 5 best mileage oils in 2020, Reviews and Buying Guide, published January 17th, 2021. It was rated the overall best high mileage oil, and most of our vehicles have been high mileage vehicles. There are many different brands of oil filters to choose from as well. I like to use Fram filters, which are rated number 2 by Kevin, who wrote 9 best oil filters for synthetic oil, updated November 13th, 2020. What tools do you need, and how are they applied? In addition to an oil filter and oil, you'll need tools, stated by In Gear Face of the Unknown, who wrote top 10 tools you may need to change your oil, in July 27th, 2018. The most common tools you'll need are wrenches, between 13 to 15 millimeter, ratcheting wrench and sockets to take off any guards or anything you may need, an oil drain pan, a light source like a flashlight or a treble light, a funnel to put your oil into the engine without dumping it all over the engine, an oil filter removal tool, cap wrench or regular filter wrench, specialized sockets for any special engine guards or anything you may need to take off, an oil pump, which are they're usually used on expensive vehicles, not so much regular vehicles, everyday drivers. You'll need a floor jack and jack stands, and an engine oil specification. Now, how do you apply these tools? How to change your oil. The first step to changing the oil is to run your car for about 15 minutes to let it warm up and let the oil flow more easily when you take the drain plug out. The next step is to jack the vehicle up and put it up on jack stands. After that, use one of your wrenches and take off any engine guards or plastic covers that may be under there. Put the oil pan underneath the drain plug and then remove the drain plug and let the oil drain out completely. In some vehicles you may need a pump to be able to pump all of the oil out. Now after that, you replace the drain plug, making sure it's snug. You place the oil pan beneath the oil filter use your filter tool to remove the filter. Install the new filter. Wipe off the surface of the engine where the oil filter mates to the engine. wipe a light coating of new oil onto the seal of the new filter before screwing it on. That way it goes on easily and doesn't damage the seal. Screw the filter in, but you want to make sure it's tight, but you don't want to put it too tight, otherwise it'll be extremely hard to get off. Replace all the covers, anything you might have taken off, guards or anything, and then remove the jack stands and let the vehicle down. Now you need to remove the oil cap on top of the engine and place the funnel into the opening. And then you pour the specified amount of oil and specified oil into, which would be this, something like this, which would be that, and you pour it into the opening. And you remove the funnel. After you're done with that, you screw the cap back on, and then you check the dipstick, making sure that the oil is at the correct level. If everything checks out, close the hood and drive away. And that's all, folks.